Hey guys, and welcome to your second to last notes video of the trimester. So today we're going to be doing Unit 9, Note 6-2, talking about dividing polynomials. So this is why we did long division yesterday, was leading into this, okay? So it's going to take a little bit of time to understand. I don't expect you to get it right away. It'll be a little bit of hard work, but I know you can do it. So first thing you want to do is set up the long division, kind of like you did yesterday, where you put the divisor, which is on the bottom, on the outside of that box. And then the dividend, which is the number in the numerator, on the inside. And then what you need to do is you need to find a number to multiply to the divisor to get the dividend. All right, now that's a lot of big words. It'll make more sense when we see a lot of concrete examples. Then you're going to multiply that number by all the parts of the divisor, and then you're going to subtract it. Okay, so then you're going to repeat until you have all of the numbers brought down. So really this is just long division, except this time we're dealing with different terms. Okay, if the remainder exists, you're going to write out as over the divisor at the end. So again, this is a lot of words. Just get it written down so you have those steps to follow in the future. But it'll make more sense when we start doing concrete examples. So why don't you pause and finish getting that written down. Let's take a look at number 1. So for number 1, let's set it up. That's our first step. So I'm going to put x plus 5 on the outside of my box, and then on the inside, x squared minus 3x minus 40. So now really what I'm going to do is I'm looking at it one term at a time. I'm looking first term to first term, from x to x. So I'm asking myself, okay, what do I need to multiply x by to get x squared? Well, x squared is the same as having 2 x's. So I need to take this x and I need to multiply it by x squared, or by x to get x squared. So I'm going to multiply it by x. So let's distribute that in. You get x squared plus 5x when you distribute that in. So I multiplied by x. If you take x times x, you get x squared. And when you distribute that in, you get x squared plus 5x. Now, this entire part is being subtracted off. So if you think way back to the first trimester, when you would subtract off polynomials, it's nice to look at it as distributing in a -1 and changing the signs of everything. Okay, so I change the signs of everything so that I can simply add down the columns. So x squared minus x squared is 0. Negative 3x minus 5x is going to give me negative 8x. Next thing I need to do is bring down that last number, which is negative 40. So now I'm going to ask myself what I need to multiply x by to get negative 8x. So what do I need to multiply x by to get negative 8x? And I need to multiply it by negative 8. So I'm going to write that work over here. So I'm taking that divisor and I'm multiplying it by negative 8 and distributing that in. So negative 8 times x is negative 8x. 5 times negative 8 is negative 40. So now we're going to write that. Now, before we add down the columns, I want us to look at this as being a -1 distributing in. So we're changing the signs of everything because we're subtracting. So we add down the columns and we get 0 plus 0, which is just 0. So because our remainder is 0, our answer then is going to be x minus 8. Okay, so that's a lot, I know. We're going to take it one step at a time. Okay, so next, let's take a look at number 2. So we're going to set it up so we put x plus 1 on the outside, then underneath the box is x squared minus 9x minus 10. So the first thing you want to do is ask yourself what you need to multiply x by to get x squared. So how can I get x squared from x? Well, I need to multiply by x. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of some of this work so I have more space. Okay, so now I need to actually multiply x times x plus 1. So I'm going to distribute that in. X times x is x squared. 1 plus x is just x. So here I have x squared plus x. Now that is actually being subtracted off. So remember, I like to look at that as distributing in a -1. So then I change the signs of everything. So here I have x squared minus x squared, which is 0. Negative 9x minus x, which is going to give me negative 10x. So now that I've done that, I'm going to bring down the next term. So I have negative 10x minus 10. My next step is to ask myself, okay, what do I multiply x by to get negative 10? What do I multiply x by to get negative 10x? Well, I need to multiply it by negative 10. So then as some side work here, I'm going to take negative 10 times my x plus 1 and distribute that in. So then I get negative 10x minus 10. So I'm going to write that here. Again, you're subtracting that off. So look at it as distributing a negative 1 and change the signs of everything. Well, 10x plus 10x is 0. Negative 10x plus 10 is 0. So we end up with a remainder of 0. So our answer for this one then is x minus 10. Okay, keep moving through. So let's set this next one up. So on the outside, we're going to have x minus 4. And then on the inside, x squared plus 3x minus 24. So now we're going to go through and do that long division again. So we need to take x and figure out what we need to multiply x by to get it to x squared. So to go from x to x squared, I need to multiply by x. So, I'm going to distribute that in. So I have x times x minus 4. That gives me x squared minus 4x. So I'm subtracting that off. Again, so I'm going to change the signs of everything when I subtract it off. 3x plus 4x gives me 7x, and then I'm going to bring down that minus 24. The next thing I need to ask myself is what I need to multiply x by to get 7x. Oops, I forgot to put my x up here when I multiplied. Okay, so to go from x to 7x, I need to multiply by 7. So whatever I multiply by, I'm going to put that on top. And notice I'm lining up the columns. X goes in the x column. 7 goes in the number column. It just helps me keep my thoughts organized. So now I'm going to distribute that 7 in, and I get 7x minus 28. So I'm going to write that here. Again, you're distributing in that negative, so you want to change the signs of everything. And now we're left with a remainder. So we have to figure out what we need to do with that remainder. So let's go ahead and look. So we have, first and foremost, x plus 7 as our final answer. But now we have this remainder right here. So we need to take the 4, and I'm going to write it over our original divisor, which is x minus 4. So we have x plus 7 plus 4 divided by x minus 4. So all I did was take our divisor and I put our remainder over that divisor. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. So for number 4, we want to divide that out. So let's write out what we have. We have x plus 3, and then underneath, x squared plus 7x plus 12. So first things first, what do I need to multiply x by to get x squared? Well, I need to multiply it by x. So I'm going to put that x in the column. So then I have x times x plus 3. Distribute that in. X times x is x squared. 3 times x is 3x. So I'm going to go ahead and write that here. Now, I want to subtract these off. Okay, that's the idea I want to look for. And when I do that, I want to change the signs of everything that follows. So x squared minus x squared is going to cancel out to 0. 7x minus 3x, remember we're changing that sign because we're subtracting, is going to give me 4x, and then I want to bring down that plus 12. Next thing I want to ask myself is what I need to multiply x by to get 4x, and I need to multiply it by 4. So then as a side note, I'm taking 4 times x plus 3 and distributing that in. So here I have 4x plus 12 once you've distributed in. Again, we're subtracting that, so I want to change the signs of everything. 4x minus 4x is 0, 12 minus 12 is 0. So I have a remainder of 0. So my final answer then is x plus 4. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 5. So for number 5, we want to write our divisor, 2x minus 1, and then what we're dividing, 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. So now I want to ask myself, again, we're just going first term to first term. What do I need to multiply 2x by to get 2x squared? Well, I already have 2 and 2, so that's good. But I only have one x in one term, and I need an x in another. So I need to multiply by x. So then I'm taking my divisor, and I'm multiplying it by 2x minus 1 and distributing that in. So let's go ahead and write that out. So I'm going to end up with 2x squared minus x. Again, we're subtracting that off, so we want to change the signs of everything. Those are going to cancel out to 0. 3x plus x is going to give me 4x. Now I'm going to bring down the minus 5. So next question I need to ask myself, again, just focusing on that first term, what do I need to add 2x or multiply 2x by to get 4x? Well, the only way I can multiply 2 to get 4 is if I multiply by 2. So I'm going to write that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 times 2x minus 1. Well, that's going to give me 4x minus 2. So I have 4x minus 2. Now we're subtracting that off, so I'm going to put parentheses, and I'm going to change the signs of everything because we're subtracting. 4x minus 4x is 0. Negative 5 plus 2 is actually going to give me a negative 3. So now I'm down to just a number. So again, I have a remainder on this one. So I'm going to start, and I have x plus 2. And then I'm going to take my remainder, which is negative 3. We're going to do plus and negative 3, and we're going to write that over our original divisor, which is 2x minus 1. So this right here is your final answer. All right. This next one gets a little bit trickier. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to take 2n minus 3. Now we're going to be dividing 4n cubed. So now we have 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave space for my 0n squared. So even though I don't have an n squared term, I'm going to leave a place for it by putting 0n squared. Plus 5n minus 21. So now I'm going to go through and calculate this out. So I have 2. I want to think, okay, how can I take 2n and make it 4n cubed? Well, first of all, I need to think about how can I make 2 4? And I do that by multiplying by 2. Then I need to ask myself, how do I make n cubed? Well, I only have one n, and I need 3 n's, so I'm going to multiply by n squared. So that's why I put that 0n squared there, is so I have a placeholder. So that's going to be 2n squared. Okay, so then I'm going to take 2n squared times 2n minus 3 and distribute that in. So I'm going to end up with 4n cubed minus 6n squared. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down over here. So I have 4n cubed minus 6n squared. Now, that's being subtracted off, so I change the signs of everything. 4n cubed minus 4n cubed, that's going to cancel out to 0. 0n squared plus 6n squared is going to give me 6n squared. So now we want to bring down that 5n. So now I'm going to look again. I'm going to look at 6n squared. So we're actually going to have to do this 3 times now. I'm going to look at 6n squared. I need to ask myself what I need to multiply 6n squared, or 2n, to get 6n squared. Well, multiplying to go from 2 to 6, I need a 3. To go from n to n squared, I need an n. So now I'm taking 3n times 2n minus 3 and distributing that in. So that gives you 6n squared minus 9n. So here I have 6n squared minus 9n. And now I want to change the signs of everything. 5n plus 9n is going to give me 11n, or sorry, 13 or 14n. And then I'm going to bring down that minus 21. So now I'm asking myself what I need to multiply 14 or 2 by and by to get 14, and that's 7. So I'm taking 7 times 2n minus 3, and that's going to give me 14n minus 21. So those cancel out. So here's the deal. I'm going to stop this video here. If you understand this, you can go ahead and finish the note sheet on your own and then show me it's completed. What I am going to do, if you still don't understand it, is I'm going to make a secondary video that you'll see below this one. Okay, so if you want a little more help on understanding these, I'm going to continue to talk through more of them. If you get it, then finish up on your note sheet. You still have to do the problems either way. If you want to do it with the video, do it with the video. If you want to do it on your own, do it on your own. But you have to show me that work before you get your homework sheet.